in 3 matches. Lovely evening, great pitch, wonderful weather, and 2 very entertaining teams. Saints with Lomax at fullback for the injured Wellens, then it's Gardner, Gidley, Flannery and Foster, Price and Eastman. Forwards, Hargreaves, Cunningham, the skipper, Graham, Clough, Dixon and James Roby at loose forward. And on the bench, it's Pulatua, Moore, Ashurst and young Jacob Emmett, who's back for his first Super League appearance of 2010, having been on a dual registration deal with the Lee Centurions. And the coach for Saints is Mick Potter. For Hull Kingston Rovers, Briscoe at fullback, then it's Fox, Wellham, Newton and Cockayne, Morell and Dobson. The forwards, Vella the skipper, Josh Hodgson, Clinton, Netherton, Gallia and Watts. The subs, it's Lovegrove, Wielden, Cook and Fisher. And the coach is Justin Morgan. And Justin Morgan is one of the coaches who has been linked with the St Helens job in the past. He has a great record against the Saints since 2007, 4 wins from 8, including a 2009-2019 victory here. Out they come, and they actually beat St Helens on March the 7th, 28-24. On the day, they can beat the best. Home wins against the Saints and Warrington, and away win at Leeds. The inconsistency can be down to the ever-changing nature of their side this year. St Helens, well, we've said it all night. They hammered Hull Kingston Rovers 54-0 at Murrayfield 3 weeks ago. It was the most one-sided match of Super League's spring festival. They are third in the table despite losing to Salford for the 2nd year in a row at the Willows. It was the most points scored against them under Mick Potter, and the first time that they had conceded more than 40 points since September 2004. Now this is the first home game since Mick Potter announced his end-of-season departure. We will see what the fans' reaction is to that may be. The last home win against Hull Kingston Rovers, June 2008, 52 points to 10. And Adi Gardner scored 3 tries on that occasion. Well, there has been a parade of legends, and in the programme, the club has said that it is a night to remember the past as they begin to bid farewell to Nosey Road. The man leading St Helens out is certainly a St Helens legend. Kieran Cunningham comes out at the helm this evening, on this glorious evening, and what a servant this fellow has been. 170 tries for this club, a club record for a forward. And tonight, Steve-O, I just wonder whether they will have a little sting in the tail for Rovers after last week.
I'll be surprised if they do not give it everything, because the crowd, we often say it in the past, England expects, well, St Helens fans tonight, they will expect nothing but a victory, irrespective of whether it's only just 1 point or whether it could be 20 or 30. But that will not be in the back of this St Helens mind because of the easy win up in Edinburgh, and neither will it be Hull Kingston Rovers. But the Rovers have got to get off to a good start.
Well, Mick Vella is bandaged all the way down the right thigh, all the way from almost, it looks like, hip to knee. He takes the first tackle, and the dummy half was Hodgson, and here comes Joel Clinton, an imposing prop forward from the Brisbane Broncos, who's been involved in this club now for the last 12 games.
And a pretty important for both of these prop forwards, Vella and Clinton. They know that they've got to lay that platform. They've got the quality.
An important man as well, Ben Gallia.
Interesting to see how Clint Newton handles way out in the centres, and of course Saints doing exactly the same with the big fella Chris Flannery. Mick Potter will be happy that Flannery is back. They certainly missed him last week.
Last tackle here for Hull KR, so expect a kick from Dobson. There it is, gives it some air. A little tester here early, but it bounced harmlessly. Johnny Lomax, the 20-year-old deputy for Paul Wellens, is able to leave that. It bounces dead in goal, and so here comes James Graham.
Well, I think the writing was on the wall there. Justin Morgan obviously telling his kicker Michael Dobson that they've got to put pressure on Johnny Lomax. He's out there in the absence of Wellens, of course. He's a talented player, Johnny Lomax, but he can
Cunningham.
expect plenty to do tonight.
This is Roby. Roby spinning in the tackle, but couldn't get away from Clinton. Cunningham again. St Helens just over the halfway line now with Paul Clough. He drives it forward on the fourth tackle. Cunningham waits once again, shrugs away the attention of Gallier, gives it to Roby. That's the last tackle here for Hull KR on St Helens, and the referee shouts, last tackle. Cunningham gives it back to Eastman, and Eastman hoists the kick high, looking for Jamie Foster. Briscoe's underneath it. Mine, he says. The ball has bounced clear, though. It was a knock-on. It was a knock-on. It came off of St Helens' hand.
Well, pretty fortunate there for Hull Kingston Rovers, because this wasn't the best attempt. Did Dixon certainly impede Sean Briscoe? But Briscoe certainly looked a little bit nervous underneath that.
Did it not come off his head? Sorry, Mike, I thought it came off his head.
It did come off his head, maybe. That should have been handed upstairs to video referee Ben Thaler, but the referee taking the decision on the field that it was a knock-on by Dixon, and so not even referred upstairs. So Hull KR are in possession, but that's a forward pass. 10,000 voices, 10,000 St Helens voices telling the referee of the decision.
And Mick Potter as well. This is poor play. Josh Hodgson. This is the incident here. Briscoe, well, yeah, certainly hit the hands. No problem with that at all. I can't say anything wrong with that. I think the official got it absolutely spot on.
Roby from the base of the scrum. Cunningham is in a dummy half again, controlling things. Graham will drive it forward. Vella was there to meet him. Alongside Vella was young Liam Watts. Now it's Kyle Eastman. Leon Price over the top. Beautiful ball to Gidley. Here is Gardner. Gardner gets the first St Helens try. Well, Eddie Gardner is in a rich vein of form. 5 tries in his last 5, including 1 in the defeat against Salford last week. He got 2 tries against Hull Kingston Rovers at Murrayfield, the only St Helens player to score 2 tries on that prolific day for them. And he's got St Helens moving in the 4th minute.
Kevin Bound by the header from the hooker, Josh Hodgson. Certainly a forward as Sean Briscoe from this position. Quick hands. This is super play there by Price. And Gidley, as he has done so often for the winger, Gardner, gives him the opportunity, and Gardner had the space. Justin Morgan will not be happy with the defensive quality of the Rovers here. They should have shifted across. Too much power in the end from Gardner.
Too much power into the chest of Sean Briscoe, and he took Morell over the line with him as well. And it's a perfect start for Saints.
I'm just going to ask Brian here. Do Hull Kingston Rovers need to concentrate on stopping St Helens in the middle of the field with the likes of Graham and Roby before they need to worry about the players out wide with Price and Gidley and Flannery?
Absolutely. If you let St Helens have some ruck speed at the middle, that means they play the ball quickly. It means Cunningham can jump out of there, can run out of dummy half and find an exploit and fix it, the Hull Kingston middle. Actually stop them, it makes their players on the fringe a whole lot easier. We saw there Cockayne trying to come out to try and solve the problem. Here we go. Cunningham fixes their middle, and you'll see just at the top of your screen, here comes Cockayne and leaves Matt Gardner with a free run in at the end, and unfortunately Briscoe's not quite strong enough on the upper body to stop him.
Perfect start for Eddie Gardner. 7 tries now for the Great Britain and England international. And Dobson restarts with a deep kick-off. Price gets it on his own line, gives it to James Graham. He runs straight. Poor Clint Newton and his left leg. Newton in his weight.
He's hurt very much, is Clint Newton. He went in very awkward. James Graham is calling for the trainer, and thankfully James Child, the official, has seen that, and he doesn't know where he is.
Well, James Graham looking very concerned immediately that it was a clash of heads, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Clint Newton went down very, very quickly indeed.
And immediately James Graham saw that Clint Newton was in a bit of trouble and signalled the physiotherapist to come on quickly and sort him out.
Not only that, Eddie, James Graham actually went back and just made sure that he was okay. Played the ball, of course, but he's a tough hombre, this fella.
Everybody saw that incident on the big screen, and everyone went, ooh. Well, It looks as though James Graham hasn't felt a thing, Brian Noble, does it? Clint Newton did.
That was two large human beings colliding.
Frightening, and well, Newton is still out there, but at the moment he's just patrolling the wing on this near side while he gets the marbles back into place.
Not only that, Eddie, it just personifies, doesn't it, that James Graham, so tough.
Mistake by Foster. Flannery popped the ball to him. Foster's having a bad time of it at the moment. He had a shocking first 20 minutes against Salford last week. Was withdrawn by Mick Potter, but when he named him on the wing yesterday, Mick Potter said, well, he's got another chance. There's no point in having youngsters who are promising and just discarding them on the back of one poor display. Clint Newton seems to be okay.
And, you know, I feel that Mick Potter's got it absolutely right. You've got to give the opportunity for the youngster. He had to be taken off. He missed three tackles last week, which led to Salford tries. So, you know, it's a hard job for a coach, but you've got to be ruthless at times.
Here's Dobson again, watched all the way by Flannery. Boy, St Helens certainly missed him last week. That ball was just dipping in front of Liam Watts. He did well to hang on to it, and immediately he was clattered by three. Hodgson is the dummy half, and he finds Joel Clinton. That was Morrell. This is Briscoe.
He's a key player. He loves to chime in the three-quarter line, but the sliding defence from Saints is pretty solid at the moment.
Last tackle here for Kingston Rovers, 15 metres away. It's with Ben Gallier. He stabs the ball. It comes back off the post, and it has to be picked up by Andrew Dixon, who is in turn then dumped to the ground behind his own line. And that was a good chase and a great kick, actually, by Gallier.
Well, I think St Helens anticipated they were going to go for the high kick, and it was aimed at the post. Nothing that Lomax could do about that.
Okay, Kyle.
Goal line dropout then from Kyle Eastman. Reaches halfway, but Briscoe, and here goes Mick Vella. Good ground made forward by Hull Kingston Rovers. Josh Hodgson is the dummy half, pops it up to Liam Watts. Liam Watts, who made his first ever start against the Crusaders last week, scored a try, keeps his place. This is Scott Morrell again, wearing 9 but playing at standoff. 3 positions for Scott Morrell in the last 3 matches. Plays the ball there to Hodgson. Here is Gallier back on the inside to Briscoe. And a man was taken out without the ball by Kieran Cunningham, so it's a penalty to Hull KR.
Nice little move, just going out on that left-hand side. Ball back inside of the full-back. Good work by Gallier. More pressure for Saints now.
Vella goes down on the first tackle under James Graham. It is Dobson. Dobson gets the ball away, and St Helens managed to hold the man up in goal. Tremendous effort. Is it Joel?
Just to the check, second tackle.
Just trying to check who it is.
It's Johnny Lomax, I think, that's got right underneath.
It was Netherton. It was Netherton who was prevented.
It was held up when I got there.
Well, as the referee signalled, it's a video referee decision.
Well, he went so close, there's no point in turning it down. It hasn't got it down there. Lomax has got right underneath, prevented it. Well, he's in a good position, isn't he, James Child? That looks quite clear to me, but we've got the technology. I suppose he wants to use it.
Tackle. Yeah, okay, Ben.
Well, he's held up over the line, I think, if this is no try, as we think it will be no try.
We won't get long when this sign comes up, Eddie, and I do think it'll be no try. I just want to ask you to watch the quality of the pass from number 21 here.
Okay.
Josh Hodgson's given some great service. Look at the width of the passing and the accuracy, enticing the Hull KR players onto them here in good attacking position.
Hodgson at dummy half. Hull Kingston Rovers underneath the sticks. This is Dobson. Dobson gets the ball away. That's Chris Wellham. And all hands to the pumps in defence again for St Helens. They hold him out on tackle number 4. Ball comes back untidily to Briscoe, losing a little bit of momentum there, the Rovers. And Briscoe goes down on the last tackle, about 15 metres away from the Saints line again. Hodgson. Hodgson gives it to Dobson. Dobson will slide the kick in. The chase is there, and Wellham goes over for the Hull Kingston Rovers response. A wonderful little kick through by Dobson, and Wellham read the script perfectly. A try last week on his 60th start for Hulkingston Rovers for Chris Wellham. He averages a try every other game. 8 tries in his last 7. Another one here tonight. And Hulkingston Rovers, Justin Morgan said he hopes that Rovers will be more competitive than in Edinburgh. Looks like they're going to be.
Well, they went very, very close with Netherton. It was turned down by Ben Thaler, the video referee, but this is a superb kick from Dobson. When Michael Dobson is on good form, the Rovers play outstanding rugby league football, and that is a well-weighted kick. He knew exactly where to go, did Chris Wellham. And a golden opportunity now to convert this try to take the lead.
Well, Dobson, 9 goals and 30 points, club Super League records in both columns last week for Michael Dobson. And his kick here has given Hulkingston Rovers the lead. Saints 4, Hull KR 6.
There you can see Dobson realises that Johnny Lomax is just slightly out of position. Takes full advantage of it, and Wellham gets there first. Excellent play.
I think the Hull Kingston Rovers fans who've travelled over here are fully aware that their side needed to score some points. They weren't going to come from 18 points behind if the Saints had racked up 3 early scores. They have to stay in contention here and make it a dogfight as long as they possibly can.
Here's Liam Watts. The victory last week has certainly done Hull KR a bit of good, but having said that, Liam Watts has now come up with an error. That's a knock-on just 21 metres away from his own line. Pained expression on Liam Watts' face. Only 19. Definite fumble.
Certainly was, and it became about by the impact of Kieran Cunningham coming into the third man into the tackle. He just relaxed slightly.
So here comes St Helens again with Gidley. The pass out the back door was looking for Gardner. It was ambitious, to say the least, on the first play. Sort of thing this, Brian Noble, that turns coach's hair grey.
I was just about to say Hull KR don't need to invite St Helens into their half. We've seen the last 2 sets getting out of their own half. They'd had an error and a forward pass, which gives St Helens the opportunity. St Helens just threw the opportunity away there on play 1.
It amazes me because the experience, you know, with Matt Gidley, his famous one-hand flick pass, but not on the first tackle. No.
I don't know how ambitious Hull KR are going to be here, Eddie, but this is perfect 40-20 setup here. This pitch, don't forget, is only 90 metres long. It doesn't have the full 100 metres we see at most of the other grounds we go to. There was a slight breeze behind Hull KR when I was out on the pitch before the match.
Well, they've carried the ball over the 40-metre mark now, but Dobson now is stood on the 40. Now he goes over and gets the ball infield again to Liam Watts. That's the last no, it isn't. That's the 4th tackle on halfway. Hodgson to Dobson. Good ball to Wellham again. That's the last. Hodgson. Up it goes, off the boot of Scott Morrell. It's a high-hanging, tantalising kick, this. Oh, Lomax has lost it completely. And he's given the knock on the referee.
Well, it was always going to be the case, wasn't it? Johnny Lomax being selected at full-back. Justin Morgan, he's a qualified coach. He knows perfectly well. You've just got to give the youngster as much pressure as possible, Brian.
You know, the quality of the kicking in Super League now is awesome, because what we can't see on the screen there is how much that ball moves in the air. It went straight up and was a fabulous kick.
It's given Hulkingston Rovers a glorious opportunity, and this is Briscoe. Clint Newton fully recovered from the crack of heads with James Graham. Here's Liam Watts.
Having plenty of possession of the Rovers, and they're enjoying every minute of it because Michael Dobson is building in confidence.
Well, that short pass looked a touch forward. And the referee is unhappy with something that's been said to him by Matt Gidley.
Listen, calm yourself down. You speak to me in an appropriate manner. That does not include swearing.
It was a swear.
And waving your arms around.
I said forward, sir. How was it not forward, sir? How?
It's not forward. Now make the decisions clear. I don't need the help from the players. Okay.
Well, it was dissent. The referee accused Matt Gidley of swearing, but Gidley denied the offence. He certainly had his arms waving. Here is Dobson. Back it comes to Briscoe. Newton. Oh! And Fox just could not take the pass in, otherwise it'd have been over.
It was a shocking pass, though, from Clint Newton, to be fair. nothing that Peter Fox could do about this. Look at that, he was dipping all the time.
Well, they're getting their chances.
It's a forward pass that was not seen, and Gidley, well, you can see quite clearly, he mentioned the lips moved.
Definitely a forward pass, he had a case.
Yeah.
But maybe he made his case a bit too strongly.
Well, they are the boss, they'll never change it, that's for sure. But it's important now that Mick Potter gets a message out to the players. Hey, listen, start concentrating on what we're supposed to do out there, and that's play rugby league, not start worrying about what the referee's going to do.
He's a relieved young man. He lost the high kick. Johnny Lomax, he plays the ball there to Roby. Relieved because the pressure came to nothing in the end. Cunningham.
And he's going to have to steady down as Johnny Lomax, because he knows he's going to be pinpointed from here on in.
Oh, he's going to be peppered, no question of that. Cunningham, Graham.
That had a big red cross on it there as Graham offloaded.
He did. Johnny Lomax said, thanks very much. Kyle Eastman, kick under pressure, finds the ground. It will give St Helens a few seconds more to try and close Peter Fox down. Well, they bounced back from Murrayfield with the win at the Crusaders. It was their highest ever Super League score. As I said, Dobson, 30 points and 9 goals, both club records at the Super League level for Hull KR. And they have certainly built in confidence. This is a much better performance from them than the one we saw 3 weeks ago in the Scottish capital.
And not more than that, Eddie. They're becoming adventurous. You know, they're switching, coming on the angle. They've got good support play. They've had a lot of possession. They're not frittering the opportunities we've seen St Helens do with that pass from Matt Gedley on the first tackle.
And they know how to win at the big clubs. They've won at Leeds as well this year. Dobson hoists the kick again. Foster's underneath this. Oh, that ball has bounced. It's a gift for Dobson, it could be. This could be a gift for Michael Dobson.
I think you're right. I think this will be given.
Offside, onside, first thing to look at. That looks okay.
Yep, that's fine. Now we've got to see who it comes off.
I think it comes off Foster. That was my first reaction.
You see a bit clearer here. Oh, no,
Well,
then. No.
That's off Peter Fox, but has it gone backwards?
Well, Peter Fox gets the left arm to it, and I think you'd have to say that ball is moving.
Or does it come off Foster's shoulder to make it look as though it's actually travelling forwards?
This is a difficult one for Ben Thaler. I think it comes off the forearm of Fox to start with. Either way, it could go 50-50.
Well, he hasn't looked at the grounding, so the inference is this is going to be a no try. Ben Thaler disallows the try and gives a penalty kick to the defence. And Justin Morgan says, what for? Tackled in the air, was he? Pushing the back on Foster by Clint Newton. There it is.
Yeah, well, he certainly made contact, hasn't he, the big fella, but boy, I've seen them given.
What you're seeing, though, is Hull Kingston Rovers trying to maximise their strength, and that is the ability to score from kicks. Michael Dobson's put Rovers up with that good kick for the try. We saw Ben Galea with an accurate kick that almost resulted in a try, and they know that perhaps a possibility to expose a weakness in St Helens. Last week Salford scored from kicks. They're aiming to do the same again because the Saints' defensive line's pretty strong. But when it comes to that last play and you kick, perhaps it's a good chance for Rovers to get some more points.
They're very, very quick off the line, Hull Kingston Rovers. St Helens supporters are appealing for offside, but I think the Hull KR are just so quick off the mark. Eastman will hoist the kick now. Here's a tester for Cockayne. He's lost it. That's offside. Josh Hodgson was offside, trailing behind the play. It came off the hand of Cockayne there.
Yeah.
Couldn't touch it, but he couldn't resist it.
Well, it's pretty difficult in the heat of the moment. Comes up and he said, oh, well, I know I shouldn't touch it, but I have.
St Helens running the penalty as you'd expect. This is Graham. One tackle gone, they're a metre away. This is Bryn Hargreaves scrambling Hull Kingston Rovers defence.
Cunningham on his own, perhaps.
Well, he's there at dummy half, Cunningham. And he flicks the ball to Eastman, who gives it wide to Gidley. He gives it further wide to Gardner. 2 to beat. Strength again from Gardner. Same man, Morel, bundled over the line. Oh, he's got some strength as Eddie Gardner. Super League's top scorer with 26 tries in 2008 and a member of the mythical dream team as well in 2008. Gardner now, well, he had 5 tries in the last 5, including 1 last week. He's now got 2 here tonight. Eddie Gardner and St Helens hitting back.
Came with Cocaine and Hodgson offside, penalty, the power, but this is very well scored. Cocaine came out of the line, which wasn't good, but that's all that hard work in the gymnasium, on the weights. Look at the upper body, the build on Eddie Gardner. Goes right over the top, in and out, bang! Nothing that Morel could do about that. The physique on this winger is superb.
Well, the only hat-trick that Eddie Gardner has ever scored in the Super League, strangely enough, came in that glorious year of his, 2008, against Hull Kingston Rovers. And, well, here we are, just about midway through this first half, and he's on the threshold of a second Super League hat-trick. Eastman, can he convert this time from out on the touchline? And the answer is yes. 10-6 to the Saints.
Quick hands, and this is something that Matt Gidley loves nothing better. The winger comes off his line, takes him away, but this needed some scoring.
I think we've seen the difference between a world-class centre in Matt Gidley and a man playing in the back row in Clint Newton, who's trying his best to be a centre. When he had the chance to find that quick pass to Peter Fox on the outside, he couldn't quite put the ball in his hands. It's far harder than it looks on television, and yet Matt Gidley made it look pretty easy.
This is Dixon for the Saints. 5th consecutive appearance for the young man in the second row. Now it's Clough again. He's trying to spin away from Gallier and Morel. He gets one hand free but couldn't release the ball. Well, that's a worrying sign for Hull KR. Tony Pulatua's off the bench. Such a big man, this, and he's scattered Hull Kingston Rovers defenders all over the show at Edinburgh. Eastman. Last tackle for St Helens here. Cunningham. Still Cunningham, gives it to Price. Up it goes, off the boot of Price. Here's a tester for Fox. Fox has dropped it. Back to 1, Flannery. Flannery gives it to Pulatua, he's only just on. He scored with his first touch. The kick from Price. Well, it almost had snow on it, even though we've got the warmest Super League night of the year. Fox couldn't deal with it. And, well, Pulatua, when he was fed the ball, he just had to trundle his way over the line, his first touch, and he scored 4 points. Tony Pulatua, loose forward for the last 5 matches, on the bench tonight, following on from a career-best 14 tries last year. That's try number 4 of 2010.
Kieran Cunningham tried everything to squeeze the penalty from the official, but he was left to Leon Price. It was an enormous kick. Fox couldn't get to it, knocks it back inside, and the centre says, this is your first touch, man, and this will be a 4-pointer. You can see there under pressure, Jamie Foster tried to flick it back, and Flannery says, go over for the 4. Big grin all over the face of the big fella. Huge frame.
And a big 4 points, and can Eastman make it 6? This for 16 points to 6 it is. And, well, glorious weather, great action, and Tony Pulatua with the try. And Phil saying it looks a lot more difficult than it does watching on television to score tries like this. Just let me tell you that in July, the Super League joins the Sky Sports 3D family. We'll have more details for you in due course, but we will have Super League in glorious 3D here on Sky Sports in July. We've got a marquee fixture that we've pinpointed, and as I say, there'll be more details following, but You might be interested in making a date and making sure that your pub or club has got a 3D facility to watch rugby league in 3D, because believe me, if you think this is good and in high definition it's brilliant, in 3D it's something else. You'll see passes like that coming into your front lounge in your pub. Look at this run from Gardner.
Oh, that was a high shot. And it's been picked up by James Child. It was a tough cookie, Eddie Gardner, but not the best from Cocaine. Boom, right over the top. Oh, that is a bad one.
And I'll tell you what, that looks bad in standard definition, high definition. You imagine that in 3D.
Well, I look good
I think
in
the head comes off. The head comes off in 3D, Eddie.
Oh, dear me. One thing I can tell you, though, you won't be seeing Steve-O, Phil, me, or anybody else in 3D.
Well, I'm glad about that.
This is Price.
I'm sure a few thousand out there will be feeling the same way.
Here now is Graham. Graham offloads to Eastman. Eastman, that's off the head of Clinton. Back to one, says the referee. Graham trying to prize an opening. Cunningham. It's Clough. He's just short. Cunningham. Held up over the line.
Second tackle.
So the tackle count will continue 10 metres back.
Did well to get numbers back there, the Rovers. They were struggling at one point when they got the second set of 6.
Here's Eastman again. Pops it up to Pulatua. Look at him. Now Cunningham. On the charge is Clough. And Clough is so close again. That's the 4th. Is it Cunningham again with a dart from dummy half? No. Back to Eastman. Oh, how did he hang on to that? Stabs the ball to the in-goal area. And Briscoe has to flick it dead because Eastman was following up.
What a talent this guy is. And so is Sean Briscoe, by the way, but he just couldn't take the risk. He could feel the breath of Eastman bearing down on his neck, but what a talent.
I think the most impressive bit of play there was Hulkingston Rovers' goal line defence. To keep St Helens out when they're in that mood and in that position, great effort, and this will test them again here now, the next 6 plays.
Foster taking on Newton. And Fox actually using a little bit of an elbow there, was he, on the chest of Foster? Anyway, the play continues with Flannery. Here's Cunningham. Now it's Graham. Graham charging in.
Who else?
Well, he won the Man of Steel in 2008. He's got to be a candidate at the halfway stage.
Yep.
And imagine him coming at you in 3D, Steve-O.
Yeah, don't adjust your sets. Dear me, he's such a big player. It's important now that the Rovers... Oh, he's lost it.
Ball's lost there. He gave himself up, Ben Cocaine, didn't he? He picked the ball up off the deck and looked at the referee.
There was a hand in by Price, not seen by the official. Not happy, Cocaine.
Do you think each team should be able to play a joker and appeal, go to the video ref for one of those? When they think that it was knocked out and the ref might not have seen it, the touches haven't. I know it slows the game down, but...
like in tennis, dispute the call. How many would you allow, Phil?
2 in a game.
Leave me out of that.
Well, Steve-O disputes every call, doesn't he? Just about.
Oh, he might have him just running on with a joker. That'd be nice.
This is Pulatua. Here is Leon Price. Now it's with Kyle Eastman. Newton had him, but then lost him. Here goes Foster. Does well. Foster bounces off Netherton. Newton comes back and gets him the second time.
Good run by the youngster as well. That'll build his confidence. The crowd really lifted him there.
Price pops it up to Pulatua again. The leg strength and leg drive from Pulatua.
Graham again. Will he offload? Will they use him as a dummy? No, they're going on this side.
It's Roby.
Oh, that was high.
Referee agrees. Joker wouldn't be coming on for that, Phil. You couldn't dispute this one.
You can't laugh at anything like that. That was a high shot on Roby.
Okay.
6 more tackles, goal line defence, they must be blowing for tugs now, Hull Kingston Rovers. That's how close St Helens are. Here is Flannery. Flannery gets round them and he's in. Chris Flannery. Well, all the pressure had to tell in the end. The high shot underneath the sticks on Roby gave St Helens the extra set of 6. They didn't need anything like 6. And Flannery over for his 4th try of the campaign. Boy, they missed him last week at Salford. 4 tries in his last 4 games that he's played in. 6 grand finals in 8 years, this fellow, both sides of the world. Just 1 win, and that coming in the NRL.
You can't afford to give away a silly penalty like that when you've been under a lot of pressure. And Scott Wheeldon gave away that opportunity, and he's such a big man, isn't he? Chris Flannery. Power, look at that. Just swatted away Clint Newton as though he was just a little fly buzzing around this guy's head.
If you're a fan of Chris Flannery, by the way, you can see his views on the state of origin with his teammate Matt Kidley in our programme on Wednesday morning at 10:30 Sky Sports HD1, when we have the first of the State of Origin series for you. They've both played in a few, Flannery and Gidley, and they talk about the experience and the build-up and the nerves and their first games at that level. It's the State of Origin. It's back on Sky Sports in 2010. 10:30 Wednesday, Sky Sports HD1. Brian Carney is your host. Eastman has pushed the kick wide of the posts. It's 20 points to 6 though to St Helens. It's ominous for Hull KR.
Certainly is, and it just shows you the ability when St Helens in the opening 15 minutes looking a little bit shaky. They were trying to just keep the ball moving around all the time, and then when they just settle down into good basic rugby league football, the forwards, especially James Graham, just leading the way. They've got the skill and the power, as we've seen from Flannery there, and on 2 occasions A.D. Gardner. They really do have that strength out wide.
Saints then with Graham again. Just drives the ball forward, doesn't he? He's got... Ooh, but there's a little knock on by him. He's going to give him such a heap of praise then. I better keep my mouth shut.
Put the mocker on him, that is for sure. Yeah, lost control of it. Trying to... often when a player tries to just get it at top speed, and that's lost control of it. You know, in the olden days, Eddie, when you were a young lad, it's before cars came on board, you'd think that the likes of James Graham, he'd be pulling the milk cart round the roads, wouldn't he? I mean, he just keeps going, doesn't he, man?
Sorry, I don't know what on earth you're talking about, but this is Clint Newton. You're talking about Benny Hill and Ernie driving the fastest milk cart in the West.
Yeah.
Fisher 10 metres away for Hull KR. Morel, that's a good ball to Galea. Fisher is busy at dummy half. Back it comes to Dobson. Dobson then to Scotty Wheeldon.
Far too flat then. So easy for Puletuyi to get him down.
Fisher once more. Here's Dobson. Short ball to Netherton. Last tackle. Fisher, Dobson slides the kick in. That bounced off the legs of Graham. It was his mistake, and he comes to the rescue on the last tackle for his team.
Justin Morgan will be furious about that. 3 play the balls, flat passes, and then the kick really from Michael Dobson was not at its best.
You know, they hadn't had possession in this half of the field for 16 minutes. Such was the dominance. Maybe they were a little bit drained. They had to do all that defence on their own line, hadn't quite recovered, and didn't throw their best players at St Helens. And now you have to recover very quickly.
Oh, what a run that was from Flannery. Here goes Dixon. That's his Eastman. Eastman has got Price. That's good scrambling defence. Ball's come back. It's play on. Foster has it under pressure from Dobson.
Wonderful set piece from Saints. Flannery coming on the angle. 2 forwards running the dummy.
Oh, Cockayne took Eastman out of it then after the kick. The touch judge, I think, might have seen it. I think Cockayne is treading a tightrope here. because Eastman's kick was tackled a bit late, and that's an automatic sin binning if it's deemed to have been exactly that.
Well, there's a build-up there, and you could see how they come back on the inside. Not there in numbers, to be fair to them.
10 minutes.
The build-up
Challenge on the kicker.
was pretty good.
This is a yellow card for Ben Cockayne. Late challenge on the kicker. Wasn't as late as some that we've seen, but it was fractionally late.
Yeah, the ball had already gone. And that will not help his side one bit. Well, I think he said a few things to the crowd
to somebody
as well.
in the paddock there, yes.
Do you think, Brian, the player putting pressure on is in a better position if he has his arms out rather than the shoulder charge? We've just seen Chris Wellham getting injured here in the tackle he attempted on Gardner, but the pressure on the kicker, a shoulder charge is usually penalised.
Yeah, and it looks clumsy, doesn't it? If you get your arms and you attack the hips of a kicker, you may disrupt the kick and the ball bounces your way. It's probably a better percentage play, so I don't disagree with that. You know, attack the hips, attack the ball if you need to in certain parts of the field, but it looks terrible, doesn't it? It looks high and it looks late, and that's what attracts the attention of the linesmen. They're nothing to do with those linesmen, so they just think, well, I've seen him do that, let's go waving the flag and alert the referee.
You do mean the touch judges, Brian?
I do mean the touch judges. Yeah. Assistant referees, somewhere they call them that, don't they? Something like that.
Looks like Wellham is okay to carry on, which is good news for Rovers. Here's Eastman then. This is Clough. That was high. And he puts his hand up immediately. Apologises. It was Reece Lovegrove. Just a trailing arm.
It's got to be 5 minutes in a sin bin. I know it doesn't exist as a rule, but it has to be considered. How can you hold somebody down for a second and get a penalty? And the same incident for that.
As a team of different players, but you've got to sort
You can't run without your head, Phil. You know that.
Too many penalties, says the referee. Sort it out. He's got one in the bin.
Well, if it's
Another
not,
set of six.
if it's not bad enough playing against Saints, you know, I mean, they're just crucifying themselves.
Eastman with a darting run, just held up short by Netherton. Roby back to Leon Price, gets the ball away, and Lomax is so close.
Hold, go.
Roby, Pulatua, short ball. That might have looked a touch forward as well. Another high tackle this time.
He's got to do something. He's got to do something. He's got to do something. He's got no option. He warned them only a few minutes ago.
Well, the problems are mounting for Justin Morgan and his team. They are down by 2 men.
We've had 3 in the last 10 minutes.
All of them are across the shoulder. They're not.
It's not automatic contact. Upright tackle, it's on the head.
Well, Clint Newton saying all of them are across the shoulder. It's not around the head. Well, they've got 2 men now. Down have Rovers for 10 minutes. Crucial still. Knock on. A knock on by Scott Moore.
Boy, they will be relieved as well. They were there for the taking, and they know it. And not only with the fact that they'll be struggling to get their defensive line sorted out. There's the error. It's just how much steam will it take out of them? No doubt about it. Well spotted by James Child, the official.
Well, the 13 of St Helens have 20 points. The 11 of Hull Kingston Rovers have got 6. 2 men in the sin bin. There they are. Cockayne with the tattoos and Fisher next to him. And that's the best way I can describe it, so as you can identify it. And Justin Morgan is furious.
Well, it's important now that the Rovers keep possession, and when they do, no, they're kicking on the third. Well, that surprises me.
But he's gone for a 40-20. He might get it. No, it's bounced the other way. Scott Morrell just trying to buy a bit of ground for his team, I think, with the 11 men.
I think it might have been better buying time rather than distance downfield.
Well, finding the sideline is a massive help for them, isn't it? I know the clock has now stopped. Well, it's not, sorry, the clock hasn't stopped, and that's one of the biggest things he wanted, it to keep ticking over.
So here's Flannery again.
Move! Ball to 10.
Now the obvious option is that... Oh, they're messing around. The obvious option is that when you're down to 11 men, is the opposition to zip the ball about here than everywhere, and you'll see Clint Newton interfering there. But generally, when you're spreading yourself, there's more opportunity down the middle with where the gaps are.
Well, Jake Emmett is on for his first Super League appearance of the year, back in the fold after a dual registration arrangement with Lee. He has been very impressive in the championship as well. Here is Pulatua. Roby is waiting at dummy half for St Helens. Now, Price and Eastman. The juggle almost assisted Eastman then, because the Hull KR defence had gone left and he managed to come the other way. Scott Moore on the deck. It finds its way to Gardner. Strength again from Gardner, is it? No, he's held up this time by Gallia and Morel. Gidley. Looping pass to Eastman. Eastman through the gap. Couldn't get through the last line of defence, though.
Great tackle by Scott Wheeldon. It had to be. It was a try.
Jake Emmett.
Simple.
He scored 6 tries in 9 for Ian Newbert's side in the championship. Justin Morgan's on his way downstairs. He's angry. And Jake Emmett comes up with his first try in Super League. His 7th try of 2010. 6 of them, as I say, in the championship with the Lee Centurions, under the former St Helens coach Ian Millward, of course. And, well, that was inevitable, really, with Hull KR down by 2 men.
All you have to do is just get the big fellas trundling through. They got the ball out wide. They were able to stop Eddie Gardner just before this, but the youngster Jake Emmett, so much power, never touched the ball. Eastman, but who does these days? No doubt about the grounding. They're happy. I'm not so sure about the Rovers fans behind.
Well, while we were watching the replays of Jake Emmett's try, Clint Newton was again carrying on the conversation with the referee James Child. There's Mick Potter, the St Helens coach. He's cool, calm and collected, but Clint Newton there, who's chunnering to his players, was just chunnering to the referee. I think he's unhappy with the penalty count that at the moment stands 8-2 in St Helens' favour, and he's certainly unhappy with the way the scoreboard is clicking and the fact that his men are down to just 11 players at the moment. And Eastman adds the extras.
To be fair, you can't blame the referee James Child about the high shots. You can't hide them.
Well, Newton's argument to him was, Steve, when we earwigged him, he said they're across the shoulders, they're across the chest, they're not straight under the chin, and that's what he's disputing.
Well, I thought Rhys Lovegood's tackle did look high, and I think even Rhys Lovegood thought that. You know, because of that try, we'll forget the effort that Hull Kingston Rovers 11 men did in the 5 previous plays. They did remarkably well to hold them out. It was a shame that the killer one on the last one looked so simple and easily after they worked so hard.
Ben Gallier's just had a word with the referee now as well, so they're a disgruntled lot at the moment, Hull KR. It's a deep kick-off from Dobson, and Price did well to hang on to that. Took a step backwards but managed to stay within the bounds of the field. Well, 2 minutes remaining of this first half. A first half that was a real scrap for St Helens early on, with Hull KR leading by 6 points to 4. But the penalties have mounted against them, and 2 men in the sin bin has certainly not helped. And St Helens looking for more on the way up to half-time here in this set of 6.
What a superb take on half volley there by Kyle Eastman. Oh, dearie me, come on. I know he was going in low. He was trying to duck under, but Watts, is it Watts?
It's Scott Wheeldon.
Scott Wheeldon, sorry, yeah.
Just an admonishment from the referee, Justin Morgan. I think the face tells its own story.
I think he might have an eyeball to eyeball with the official with the whistle as he goes down the tunnel.
Here's Clough for St Helens. Last minute of the first half, they lead 26-6. Roby at dummy half, almost through the first one. Good leg drive again from Roby. Takes him to within 5 metres of the line, back it comes to Eastman. Eastman then gives it to Pulatua. Pulatua, a great offload. And that's flicked by Peter Fox. He's come to his team's rescue there. It's a goal line dropout.
They may just get it in.
They might do. They won't be rushing.
Well, he hasn't stopped the clock as James Child.
He has now.
Do you know what? I think Hull KR have done well here. They've got 11 men. Their opposition have had 25 more play the balls than them. They're playing hot in front of their own supporters, and they're hanging on in there. It's a brave effort from a determined side who, sadly, are going to be on the wrong side of a scoreboard tonight.
It's fired Hull KR up, but sheer weight of numbers is counting against them at the moment, and the sheer weight of penalties going against them also. Price feeds it wide to Foster, and the half-time siren sounds, and the ball goes out of play. With the boos you can hear in the background from the Hull Kingston Rovers supporters, Justin Morgan makes his way to the dressing rooms. Newton, well, there's the man at the centre of it all, James Child. He's penalised Hull Kingston Rovers 9 times. He's given Rovers 2 penalties. He's put 2 of the Rovers players in the sin bin. Cockayne and Fisher. Cockayne has probably served around about 9 minutes of the 10 minutes. Fisher just 7. And the referee, I think, wisely waiting while the players of both sides, particularly Hull Kingston Rovers and Clint Newton, leave the field before taking his path to the dressing room. 26-6.